we're going to do a little exercise. I'm going to break you up into 4 groups. Everybody remember what those 4 groups are? Prayer and intercession, outreach, ministry to the body, and discipleship. Okay? So start thinking now about which one you want to try to go to. Okay? And I would probably recommend that you maybe go to one that's not your strength. You know, if you feel you're really big in outreach or something, for example, maybe go to one of the other ones, because part of the idea of this is that we're going to stretch each other a little bit and try to grow here, okay? But each of those 4 areas, prayer, intercession, outreach, ministry of the body, and discipleship. But I'm going to break you up into 4 groups. We'll do prayer and intercession up here, outreach towards the back, ministry to the body over there, and discipleship over here, okay? In those groups, I'm going to come give you guys each group, 2 little pieces of paper here, okay? And in the group, what I want you to do is to look over both these pieces of paper. And what these are basically ideas, okay? Just little starters. There's not a lot of information here, okay? But just enough to really kind of get you going on something, all right? And what I want you to do in your group is to go over both of these little ideas, okay? And then, as a group, to pick one, okay? Pick one, or if you got a better idea that's way cooler than either of these, then I'm cool with that too, okay? But you're going to pick one of these, and the idea is that after you read through it, you talk about the idea a little bit and how you want to accomplish what it is that's kind of outlined on the sheet of paper that you pick as a group, okay? Also, too, it's not my goal that, like, for prayer and intercession, that you pick one of these things and pray for it for 5 minutes and then you're done and then we're all cool, okay? The idea is, too, that as a group, as you pick one of these, too, that I would ask that part of it be some kind of responsibility outside of this meeting tonight as well, too. Okay, so if it's a prayer thing, commit to praying for that thing for the next week or month or whatever you guys decide to do in your group. Okay, some of that will make a little bit more sense too once you actually read those. But I'm going to give you guys just 5 minutes, not a long time. Okay, just 5 minutes to look over the 2 ideas that you got, talk about them real quick, and then you'll pick one spokesperson from your group to come up and share with everybody else kind of what you came up with as a result of looking at your ideas there, okay, and coming up with something. What I'm hoping here is basically the end result is going to be that we'll have some people here tonight that are committing to do something in prayer and intercession, somebody doing something in outreach, somebody to do something in ministry of the body, and some people doing something regarding discipleship, okay? This is going to carry on just outside of this group as well, too. So, make sure I got all the instructions laid out there. All right. Cool. So, go ahead and break up for the next 5 minutes. Prayer and intercession over here. Outreach in the back corner over there. Ministry to the body back over here. And discipleship over here.
Into the spear, facing the giants or councils of Narnia. This would be a great opportunity to invite non-believers to a non-threatening environment to hang out with your close friends. I like that one.
I like that one. Did something like that where they is gained and they're able to work out on their property. The idea here is that we'll do something to honor those who have been crowned with glory for blazing the trails before us.
Cool. Well, let's see. We will be planning to help out with the annual ministry leadership dinner. We'll be planning like a movie on the lawn type outreach activity. Got a couple really great small group ideas and stuff like that. You guys like the idea about relationships and stuff like that too? The different types of relationships. Everybody kind of dig that idea? Nodding ahead or something? No. Yes, some yeses, some nos. Okay. We'll look at getting some of those out there too, and. Yeah, I guess some of this prayer stuff posted on it too. The prayer group couldn't decide which one to pick, so they picked both, basically. So, so if other people would like to join everybody else in prayer over those things too, then I'll make sure we get some of that information out there for everybody else to be able to join them. Now, I would anticipate is that as we actually move through and plan these different things, and like a movie type outreach and stuff, that you know, that you guys would be involved with that and participate in it somehow. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, everybody besides Alyssa who's planning the movie thing, right?
Right on, Alyssa.
Woo!
Alright.
I'm not saying
First
that,
movie.
I'm not saying that everybody has to fully participate in the whole planning and organizing stuff I do, but I like to see a lot of participation from everybody else when we do these types of events and stuff like that too. So it's through these types of activities that we build the experiences that we need to have in order to become everything God wants us to become. So my last point here is what does God expect us to become? What is this goal of this maturing process that we go through? And if you look with me in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, this is actually before he starts talking about how immature the people are. I'm just going to highlight a couple things real quick. Yet among the mature we do impart wisdom, although it is not a wisdom of this age, or of the rulers of this age, who are doomed to pass away. Okay, so here he speaks as one of the mature. We also see a distinction over the wisdom of the rulers of this age, you know, the world and the flesh and stuff like that too, that this wisdom and this maturity brings. Okay, further down in verses 14 through 16, a natural person does not accept the things of the Spirit of God, for they are folly to him, and he is not able to understand them because they are spiritually discerned. The spiritual person judges all things, but is himself to be judged by no one. For who has understood the mind of the Lord so as to instruct him? But we have the mind of Christ. And that's I think ultimately the goal there is that, you know, again, through that section there's a separation of the worldly and the spiritual, and that we can eventually come to understand the mind of Christ, that we can even have the mind of Christ. Okay, and I think too, I mean, this is a whole section here where he's kind of dealing with some of these issues that the Corinthian church is having, and he's talking about this maturity process, okay, and being mature and stuff. And it was right after that he says, you know, but hold on a second, I could never give you this information before because you weren't ready for it, you weren't mature enough. Okay, you've got to go through this maturity process in order to obtain the mind of Christ. Why is it so important for us to obtain the mind of Christ like that? It's important because we need to know him so well that we even know what he thinks. Okay? If you just look at the world around us, would you really call what we live in today a Christian society? It's funny, in my worldviews class last night, we were talking about law and stuff, and I just want to read something to you guys real quick too, but we were looking at the Declaration of Independence. I'm going to read just a little piece of it here to you. It says, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.